Nice. Now I want to talk about mass adoption. So I guess like I kind of want to get your viewpoint in terms of when you think that'll go on, but also how that'll happen too.
Cool. Yeah,
Like maybe the catalyst.
yeah, cool. So personally, I think we're like a long way from like true mass adoption. I think there's so many security measures and things that you need to have in place to make sure that you're operating safely on chain. So, if I was thinking, how would I get my mum involved? Like, she going to get her own laptop to just operate on DeFi? Is she going to safely click on links to go onto those right things? Is she going to have a hardware wallet set up? Is she going to be able to revoke transactions? All these security measures that that's native to me and you won't be native to the everyday retail user. So I think there's a lot of barriers in the way for optimal self custody that obviously it's necessary to be looking after your coins, but kind of act as a barrier to true mass adoption. And I think once we see like a intertwine between when will there be mass adoption? So if we can start to just use things that are on chain seamlessly with Web 2 and that seamless interoperability, I think that's when we might be able to start getting true mass adoption. And you're sort of starting to see like the low hanging fruits getting picked off by Polygon, for example, with loyalty cards with big brands. You can sort of start to see, Reddit NFTs, these sort of things. You can start to see where adoption will take place and getting people on chain without necessarily knowing they're interacting on chain. So yeah. And what about you?
Yeah, I guess you kind of almost covered all the points for mass adoption. I guess it's once we somehow mitigate that security risk of like looking after your seed and different ways of how people can be better secured, because yeah, it is so unfortunate when you can click on one link and approve, I don't know, three transactions in a row, and then you've emptied your wallet. So it's extremely unfortunate that that exists. And yeah, there is obviously no replay the way the blockchain works, but there must be a solution that we can somehow get to. Uh, yeah, I don't know. I really don't know how close we are. And I'm not even, we're also talking in an echo chamber because I guess everybody we're talking to who's around us is 100% adapted to crypto and thinks it's the future and
Hmm.
they're all in it already. But to onboard new people, they had so many opportunities during the previous bull runs and they were still against it. So I'm not sure what incentives we can have to make it mainstream. What about you, Kadeem?
Yeah, I think that mass adoption might look differently than we expect it to be. I feel like, especially with Polygon building right now, they're kind of building in the Web 2.5 space, so like bringing the Web 3 products to Web 2 companies.
Hmm.
So like the interface for users isn't necessarily like on chain. Um, However, I guess like they are adopting the technology technically, right?
Yeah, yeah. I've,
Yeah, so I kind of feel like there might be some um, legwork done in that space over the next year.
for sure. I just My worry is there's just there's people that's native users that have been on chain for years and they still make a mistake down the line with holding all their own all their own funds. But yeah, like you're saying, it might look a little bit different to how we think it might look, and people just interacting with it without knowing. Starbucks loyalty points for some coffee on chain. These different things that might be which mass adoption lays. But yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing that happen. But I also think that the community aspect is going to play a major part.